Welcome to the AI personal assistant. This is like a human assistant that will manage your email for you. So how it works is you go and put in your rules in this file over here, and then your assistant will just run in the background managing your emails for you. Very similar to what you would do if you hired a personal assistant. When you get started, you'll see the option to choose from different personas, or you can click it over here. So I'm going to choose founder as my persona, and here you can see all sorts of rules that have been set up for me. So emails that require a reply, mark them as reply required. Urgent emails as well, I want to see those. Newsletters, label them as newsletter but archive them, so label emails from my team. For example here, I'd want to change this to getinbox0.com. If someone wants to set up a call, send them my Calendly link and so on, and again you would change this to whatever your link is. Now you can add whatever you want to this file. So for example, here's another rule I could add. If someone emails me about pricing, maybe this is a common question I get over email, over support, so I could respond with something like this. You can type this how you want. This is just one format that the AI assistant will understand, but it's really like whatever you write in this document, it should understand it. So when you hit save, it's going to go run in the background. It might take a minute or two, and it will go and set up all sorts of rules for you, and your rules will go and look something like this. Now, if you want, you can dive into different rules and sort of see how they've been set up for you. For example, okay, this rule is startup pitch, label, archive, and reply. You can see these are the conditions. If you want, you can edit these manually and do what you want. You can automate them, apply them to threads. You can add different actions to emails and so on. You don't need to play around with this too much, but let's say you want to add variables into this. The AI will often just sort of set this up for you. You can be like, hi name, or tell a joke. So you can, anything you put in these braces, the AI will fill in when it's sending these emails. So this gives you a good amount of control over what is actually sent on your behalf, and then also making sure it doesn't go sort of too wild. If it's the same sort of template you're always sending people, then this is perfect for something like that. And you have different conditions you can add. So if it's always, let's say, a team member, then you could add a condition like this. And you can also choose if an email is part of a group or a smart category, which I'll cover shortly. Now, jumping back to the assistant, once you set up your rules, you will see a screen like this where you'll be able to test your different emails and how they're performing. So for example, if I hit test on these emails, we'll see if they match any of the rules that I've set up. And also, if you want, this is really helpful, you can go and hit test all, and it will just go and run a whole bunch of emails for you automatically. And so it's just going through these one by one, seeing if they match any of our rules. Here you can see this one has matched the label Web3 newsletters rule that was already set up on this account, an AI newsletter, that's correct, and so on. But sometimes you'll notice things. I'm just going to stop this from running. Sometimes you'll notice that there are mistakes. For example, here, this is welcome to Google AI Studio. I can understand even here, if I hover over, I can see the AI reasoning for why it decided that was an AI newsletter, but it's not actually. It's just sort of a welcome email. So I'm actually going to go and fix this and be like, hey, this shouldn't have matched anything. It did match AI newsletter, but it shouldn't have matched. And so now the AI is going to suggest an automatic fix to our prompt. We can hit accept, and now we could rerun it and see if it matches anything. Hopefully it doesn't match. Yeah, exactly. So now because of that, it didn't actually go and match the prompt over there. So if you see it making common mistakes, then you can quickly go and hit fix. If you want to retest something, also hit this refresh button and see if something changed. The other thing I'll show you here is if you actually want to run these for real against your inbox, so you can just hit apply here, and now you can run all, and it will actually start applying these actions to the emails in your inbox. Typically how the AI assistant works is it will just process new items coming in. So if I get an email in 10 minutes from now, the AI will automatically process it based on my rules, but it won't go back over previous rules. If you want it to go back over previous rules and actually apply actions, so this is a page to do that. And also if you want to go over like a huge number of emails, so everything in the last week, I can go here and hit process emails, and that will just go and go over everything in my inbox. So that's really helpful if you're just getting started and you want to go over a big backlog of emails. If you want to see the history of your account, what the AI assistant has done for you, so you can hit on the history tab and you can hover over rules and sort of see its reasoning. You can also hit fix here if you notice mistakes. You also have a pending tab, so we have the option to not run things on autopilot, and then you can decide to approve or reject. But typically what we suggest is you should have the rules running automatically. You will see over here on the rules page, you can say if something's automated or not. And for things like label and archive, they're lower risk, so it doesn't actually matter too much if it's on autopilot. Things like reply, you might not want to have running automatically, but then rules like draft email reply, it will automatically draft an email, which is probably what you want. You'll see it in your Gmail inbox. You won't have to come into inbox 0 to see the draft. and it's up to you to just go hit send. Something like reply, if you have it on autopilot, it will go and automatically send that email for yourself. So there you want to be a bit more careful that you're like actually happy with how the AI is processing your account. Last two things I'll cover here are groups and smart categories. Now, they're somewhat similar. A group is basically just a collection of emails. So I'm going to hit the newsletter group. We set these groups up automatically for you. By the way, I didn't have to go and type these in. But here you can see any newsletter, any email coming from sort of these different senders, AI Minds or AI Tool Report. These are part of the group. And so I can automatically apply rules to these newsletters without having to run any AI. And you can also add subject lines. So here you can see subject, receipt for your payment. And the last bit I'll cover is smart categories. And this is basically similar to groups, but we'll go through your account and we'll like categorize every single sender in your account. So here you can see all the different newsletter. This is sort of just a different way that works to groups. In the past, we had groups. Now we have smart categories. Groups does give you a bit more flexibility in terms of you can also have subject lines. Smart categories are just for categorizing different senders, but both of them work very well. And if you want to sort of set a rule for a specific smart category, the AI can do it for you, or you can just sort of click here, do attach rule, and here you can see like label newsletter rule, and just everything in the smart category rule I can go and label as a newsletter, or I could go and, reply to it and so on. Last thing I'll show you, this is just for inspiration, but if you hit give me ideas, we're going to run through your inbox and come up with different rules that could match. So for example, if you're constantly using the same snippets, our AI should be able to identify that and then create rules based on that. This account probably won't have too many interesting rules, but we'll basically look at your labels and comment back and forth with AI and then come up with rules that could be a good fit for you. And you can decide if you want to use any of them or not. And here you can see some of the ideas it's come up with. This is a demo account, so it doesn't really have email usage, but you get the idea. And for your account, it might be able to give you some interesting ideas for ways to automate your account. Hope that was helpful. Good luck getting to inbox 0.